In this episode of the Hospo Dojo podcast, I chat with Jimmy Hurlston, author of the Burger Book Victoria and the mind behind Melbourne's cult favourite Easies. We talk about his burger expertise, how Easies came to life, and what it takes to keep things real in hospitality. This episode is proudly brought to you by Food and Hospitality Week, a major event in Australia's hospitality calendar connecting 15,000 chefs, owners and industry professionals every year. Jimmy Hurlston.
What's going on?
Is that the way you pronounce it?
Yeah, nailed it. First shot.
First shot. The man with the, is it a tram on the roof?
It's a train, but...
It's a train. That's what I thought. People told me it's a tram.
I don't know.
It's
they
a
never
train.
bought a train before?
I know.
Very different looking.
So you got a train on the roof in the CBD of Melbourne. Or outside the
Collingwood.
CBD.
Close enough.
Collingwood.
You can see the CBD.
How'd you do that? How did you get a train on the roof in the CBD of Melbourne? Well, in Collingwood of Melbourne.
With great difficulty, in all seriousness. It was a friend of mine, his idea to build this building that was dedicated to graffiti. So those trains are the trains we painted when we were kids. They travelled around Melbourne, so he painted one and then it got to travel all over the place. So that was kind of it was an ode to graffiti.
Amazing.
So he decided to put one up there and they built a building underneath to house 3 trains to sit on top of it and then emptied them out, put the tracks down, crane on top.
That's phenomenal. How did council even approve it?
No, they didn't. It took forever. And then as soon as we were open, the mayor was like the first customer in there as well. And so like, you can't do this. Silly idea. You're going to turn Easy Street into King's Cross. There's going to be prostitutes and all kinds of things in there. Fuck, never happened.
And then when it was done, and all the bureaucracy was over, the mayor's the first guy that walked in.
Correct.
That seems to be the common the common denominator.
We'll use this as our advertising tool for the city of Yarra. No problem. Thank you. You're welcome. And they got paid on the way through.
Unbelievable.
Gangster stuff, really. Let's be honest.
Well, I guess town planning's a thing of, they have, they've got to set it like the Australian standards. It's a standard, but that doesn't always mean it's the right way.
No. It's often just someone justifying their job. No offense to anyone who's a town planner out there, but let's be honest.
Well, now that we've broken the ice, Jimmy, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Our first guest in the Hospo Dojo bus.
Yeah, how's the sexy bus you got going on?
Hey, it's amazing.
Who would have thought? Podcasts in buses. It's the way forward.
We're from Sydney, and we said, how can we, immerse our guests into a space that's like ours? And we could not find any solution besides bringing in a 13-metre coach into the trade show.
Sexy.
Right?
As a guy who likes transport, has a restaurant in a train carriage, I actually have a bus. I own a bus. I love this. This is a vibe.
I appreciate it. Well, Jimmy, again, thanks again and being the first guest. And it's we're a bit croaky this morning. We're going to get started. So, welcome to the pod. You've been a figure in Melbourne for years. A friend of mine, Dobbers.
We love Dobbers.
He loves you.
He's the best guy.
He loves you.
I'm so proud of him too.
He loves you, and he said when you speak to Jimmy, send my regards.
Mate.
So that's from
Love
Dobbers.
you, Daniel.
Just thought I'll sneak that one in there for you, Dobbs.
Nice.
And when I speak to Daniel, because he's like my ear on the ground in Melbourne, and I'm his ear on the ground in Sydney. And when I spoke with Daniel and I asked him about you, he goes, "Bro, if there's anyone that knows burgers, it's Jimmy." And knowing, or from what I've understood and knowing your background, you've done everything in the most unorthodox way.
Yeah, everyone else would agree with that.
Sure. I love it.
Yeah.
And for me, that just shows, success is built on top of on pain, struggle, hardship, being relentless.
Stupidity.
You call it stupidity, but we call it growth at the Hospo Dojo.
All right. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
So, man, give us a bit of a background of yourself. How'd you get into hospitality?
I always I worked at McDonald's as a kid from 15 or whatever. I used to work at Macca's with my best mate Morgs. We used to work there as much as we could because we really liked making money at the time. So we'd work at Macca's. During year 12, I worked every day, doing clothes every night, get up, go to school in the morning because it was easy. It became second nature to me. So that side of hospitality and the organisation of it I quite enjoyed. And then, I worked different bar jobs. I worked at Flemington Racecourse with Peter Rowland and Roland Tedexo for quite some time, managed bars and stuff there, and then left that and went and studied law and decided that I was going to do something serious and professional, and then realised that I dead set hated that. I hated the people that I worked with. Not hated them as people, but I hated the environment that was created around. Like I enjoyed all the people individually, but in terms of the environment and a workplace environment, it wasn't somewhere that I enjoyed. I didn't feel comfortable in that space. And I was lucky enough, I used to snowboard with some people who had a publishing company, and they specialised in food and beverage books, which is called Smudge Publishing. So I'd snowboard with them on weekends, and then one weekend we were driving back from Mount Buller, and I just did not want to go to work on Monday. I was dreading having to get up, put my suit on, and go to work and deal with these people who would tell me what to do, and I just could not think of anything worse on a Monday morning to do. I was like, what do you guys reckon about writing a book about hamburgers? And they were like, oh, seems like a pretty good idea. I mean, you know a fair bit about them. And at the time, I'd been sort of travelling around eating the burgers that I could. There was, in 2009, I went to the States, and I'm like, I'm going to start a blog about hamburgers. This is going to be great. And I went and I ate like 61 burgers in 2 and a bit weeks. And I came back, I'd written all these blog entries and took all these amazing photos, and I got back and someone's like, oh, have you seen the Burger Adventure? They've just got this hamburger blog. And I was like, I thought I was going to be the first to do this. And Brendan Kennedy and a few other guys that he was mates with had started this blog and beat me to the punch. And I was like, crap. So I shelved the idea for a while, left the reviews and the photos to the side, left it alone. And then I decided in 2012 that I wanted to write this book and pitched it to these guys, and they came back a week or two later and said, let's do it. Let's do this burger book. So I pretty much just quit on the spot. I was like, I'm out of here. I've had enough of this crap. I'm done. I'll catch you later. And started writing a book in August 2012.
Wow.
Finished it in the end of May, June 2013.
So, man, you were way before the time of a burger craze in Australia.
I mean, I was kind of at the beginning.
You were at the beginning.
There were people like Daniel from Huckster Burger, Daniel and Dante and those guys from Huckster Burger were obviously there. Raf, my homie, who I'm judging this competition with today, he was already there because he already had Beatbox Kitchen. There were a few people that are already doing it, and I'd always said that I didn't actually want to have a restaurant myself. I just wanted to continue eating and promote. At the start, I was a little bit critical of people, and then I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to affect someone's business that's not in a positive way. So I just left it as positive reviews only. Yeah.
Was that difficult for you to do? Like, would people criticize you saying, "Oh, like he's never written a shit review on something"?
Well, I've definitely written shit reviews.
After I'm saying, but in the beginning,
I've potted some joints.
Yeah.
To an extent, but also I would normally post that I'd been somewhere. Especially when Instagram stories came out, it was really easy to post that you've been somewhere, and if no one ever saw a review of the joint, they could just assume that it was shit.
Right.
And people I've got people that have followed me on Instagram for like 13 years. You know, like people come up to me sometimes, I see them, and I love it. They come up, they're like, man, I've been following you since 2012 or 2013. I was like, fuck yeah, it's mad. Thank you very much. And they come up and they're like, what was this? I remember when you did that. And I love that interaction. But those people know that if I've gone somewhere and I've posted it on my story and I haven't written anything about it, I mean, to be fair, I've been pretty lazy over the last 18 months or 2 years.
Yeah, but you've been a busy guy.
Sometimes. But yeah, so they could read between the lines and be like, that was obviously a shit sandwich. That was a shit time. So we're not gonna go on about that one. So yeah, that kind of got tough a little bit, but then also I would much rather promote the industry that I'm in, and especially when I opened Easy's, which was 2015, so travelled along, book finished, published to the world, started working on Easies in February 2014. So I went August 2012 to February 2014, book social media stuff, and then started working on Easies at that point.
Yeah, it's crazy how you did it in the reverse compared to other people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of guys would start in hospital, I'm saying,
have the restaurant,
start cooking, and then live their dream of doing the book. But you're living proof that, you know, you can literally do it at the time that you feel is right. Don't hold out. Don't wait. Yeah, okay, you were buddies with a publisher, but at the end of the day, you know, we now, especially I believe anyway, after COVID, such a dark time for everyone, but after COVID, the barriers of entry have dropped completely. Like, you can go talk to anyone about publishing a book. It's so easy for you to be able to launch something now. It's a lot easier than it was when you were starting, and it's a lot fucking cheaper, I think, now more than ever. So, and especially with all the help people can get with access to copywriters internationally and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I feel like you've really, you know, paved the way for a lot of people and showed them a journey that they can take.
I think that's a good and a bad thing, though, the barriers being removed. I think there's a lot of, TikTok allows people to gain notoriety instantly without any credibility. I think the difference between what I did and what people are able to do now, like, it took a while for people to trust in what it was that I was saying and believe in what it was that I actually knew what I was talking about. Whereas now you could go on TikTok and get 1 million followers in 2 days if you posted the right video, right? So they haven't necessarily done the hard yards. So yes, great, no barriers. I'm heavily pro, take this the wrong way, I'm heavily pro-capitalist.
Yep.
I think that people should, in this country, need to learn better from other countries in assisting other people to make money and not being negative towards other people who are being successful. I think you should be happy and proud and use that as a motivational tool rather than being like, who's this guy? Who the fuck what's he going on about? But to an extent, there is a lot of people that are getting notoriety without any skill set, without any credibility, without having done. And then there's all these other people who have done things for years and have not reached those points, and should have.
But you are very true there. Yeah, you do. I see exactly where you're coming from.
Take Raf Boogie, for example, right? Only recently has he started doing things on social media at a level that is starting to rebuild his brand, that anyone who knew Raf and knew what he'd done already knew how good he was, right? Already had respect for him. But subsequently, all these other people have come along. You've got, I look at the people that have burger review pages on Instagram, and I'm like, sick, that's cool, well done. But, I've been doing it for 13 years. I've traveled the world. I've probably spent $2 million traveling the world and eating hamburgers because I always go out of my way to pay, and I get nothing for it, right? And I will continue to do that because for me, this is building an industry that I work in a space that I live and breathe in, which I think is, it's important to be able to, you boost your competitors because that creates more customers for you. If everyone's talking about hamburgers, there's more people eating them, right?
1000%. And the fact that giving back to the industry that gave you so much.
Oh, for sure.
I find that for me, the whole reason we're doing this is because, the food service industry has been a part of my life for the past 15 years. And I've always found that the inner voice of those who, in my opinion, have really paved the way, like yourself, don't always have the opportunity to share their story, don't have the opportunity to be able to give light to others that want to go through this journey, right? It's hard to create that setting. It's an expensive task, setting up a podcast in a bus and driving it in the middle of a show. But for us, it's about being able to inspire the next generation. When we were looking for that inspiration, we had each other. Now it's hard because society's changed, people's mindset, and the same thing about you. We have in Australia, it's really well known. I met with Vin Giang, who's a great speaker. I attended one of his workshops, and he was saying, he did work with Mel Robbins, and Australians have tall poppy syndrome,
It's gross. Makes me sick.
right? So I guess that's what what you're doing and what I'm doing is breaking that barrier down so people can go through.
I think it's a tall order. I don't think we're ever going to be able to get through to people because it's ingrained in our society, and it's really unfortunate. And you know what? It puts Australia, I mean, it might be the fact that we live on an island and everyone's always thought, we need to do something to get ahead, but also it puts us in a space where we're always going to be behind the eight ball. We're not progressive in that, in making money or being, I was talking about Adrian Portelli the other day, right?
Yep.
Outstanding.
Phenomenal.
The bloke has made squillions. You know why? Because he saw an opportunity and took it. Mad. Well done. You know what? I credit where credit's due. That dude has killed it. And I couldn't be prouder of watching his journey. Other people in Australia are like, stuff this guy. Look at him driving around in his McLarens. Hate on this guy because he's got this confidence. It makes me sick.
Yeah. Well, look, I guess
everyone should just be like, see it. Bloke's a freak. Well done. How the hell am I going to get to that point? If that's what you want to do. If you don't worry about it. Move on.
Surround yourself with people that, inspire you.
Yeah.
And if they don't, and then if they're chipping away at needs of others, and they're not the ones that you want to be
But
around.
even still, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just move on. Leave him alone. You don't have to say anything
150%.
negative about him. Just keep moving.
Now, part of growth, you've had some growth recently. The new venue in the Gold Coast.
Yeah, Palomino's.
How is that?
It's going really well. It was kind of years of travelling around eating sandwiches and finding something that I wanted to execute in a way that was really simplified. After years of working in hospitality and knowing how difficult it can be, trying to make something that was really easy to execute and easy to keep and maintain at a consistent level. The guy who I did that with, Zane, he'd never worked in hospo before, so he wanted to manage it and operate it. So I tried to create something that was going to be easy to execute on a daily basis without too many moving parts.
So how'd you been able to refine, besides refining the menu, obviously you probably dialed back into what you learned in the muscle memory of Macca's, but how did you be able to do that for your own venue in Queensland? What was the...
Bro, there's 3 sandwiches.
Yeah.
If you can't make 3 sandwiches, give it away. Don't ever do it. Like if you're working in hospitality and you can't make 3 sandwiches where you're literally cutting the bread and you've got one style where you spread it, which is the same as Rocco's in Yarraville, which is one of my all-time favourite sandwiches, and you slice the meat, put it on, done. Wrap it, see you later. The other one is ranch, meat, lettuce, tomato, pickles, done. See you later.
Keep it simple, stupid.
And there's and a soft scrambled egg roll, which is like egg slut in the US.
Yes.
But with Martin's potato rolls. So it's super soft, super delicious. And then you just take whatever the meat that you were putting on the other sandwiches and grill it and make it crispy.
You know what I fucking love about you?
So easy.
I genuinely love about you right now is that you're open about where you've gotten your inspiration from.
Oh, 100%.
Where a lot of people do not.
So it's Rocco's, Jersey Mike's, and Egg Slut. Because for me, they were the 3 best sandwiches I'd ever had in my travels that were always the same. You could go to any Jersey Mike's in America and get the same sandwich. You go to Rocco's any day of the week and you get the same sandwich. Nothing changes. Egg Slut, I mean, I don't eat eggs, but everyone else said that was the best egg roll, and I was like, I'll tweak it a little bit and make it a little better. But
It was actually the highlight of my US trip.
That's
and I had it in
was
Vegas, and I was
best,
just like,
best, done, finished.
I was just like, why don't we have egg slut in Australia? I was so baffled.
We've got Egg Lab in Fitzroy, and Alvin Kalen came to Sydney. I don't know if you went to meet him when he was there.
No, I didn't get to see him.
He was supposed to come to Melbourne. We were going to do a thing at Easy's, and then he bailed on it. But I sent him that Egg Lab. I'm like, these guys ripped you off, dog.
Oh, man. Well, after all your travels and the launch of your venues and, blending food, culture, art, giving up your day job, which was, what you thought was your dream, becoming a lawyer, what's one piece of advice you'd give to that next young entrepreneur who's wants to take that punt and get started?
If it's not in hospitality, just go for it. Give
And
it a crack. If you fail, you can do something else. Try again. Do
if
something
it's in
else.
hospitality?
Wait a bit. Wait a bit. Don't open a hospo venue at the moment. not in Victoria, not in New South Wales. Queensland, not so bad. South Australia, and I think Queensland and WA would be target markets if I was to open anything.
And why is that?
Again, people are more open to spending in those areas. They have more liquid cash. The pinch, I mean, look at the property markets in Victoria and New South Wales. Property that's average is through the roof. You live in, I don't know where in Sydney you live, but like you could walk into a single story, 1 bedroom, 1 room place in Darlinghurst and it's fucking $2 million bucks.
You should see my mate Jason Ballow's page. He's the one that shows off all the different real estate properties in Sydney. This is what this buys you in Sydney.
Yeah.
And this
Sweet
is what
fuck all.
$4 million buys you in Sydney, and it's a shack on 200 square meters of land.
200 at best.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so the pinch is there, the pinch is real. And I think also, unfortunately, in our industry, there's been a lot of people that have just put their prices up for the sake of putting their prices up. Not because of cost of living, not because of their base prices going up, just because everyone else was putting their prices up. They saw an opportunity. You know what? We're just going to jack our prices up. The problem with that is it all translates to an end user experience that isn't as palatable. So I can't charge, if I start charging more than $20 for a burger, people have a price aversion to that.
Yeah, there's a ceiling.
Yeah, but you go to the pub and you'll spend $30 on a burger and chips, not batter an eyelid, and it's not as good. It's never going to be as good as you go to a burger restaurant and that makes burgers specifically that's $17 and you complain about it. You go to the pub and you spend $17, $18 on a pint too. You spent $30 on a burger and chips and a pint, you're nearly $50 down. You come to my restaurant, you get a burger, chips, pint, you're like $35. You've saved $15 and you piss and moan about it not being big enough.
What makes you feel that, you know, the pub doesn't have that ceiling versus your restaurant?
I don't know. I just haven't worked that out. And if I could crack that code, mate, it wouldn't have been coming to work on a Sunday morning. I'll give you the hot tip.
Yeah.
It's a code that, look, someone like Justin Hems, again, credit where credit's due. He's been able to crack that code to a point that no one else has. He has created these hospitality department stores almost, where you can put different venues inside one venue and be able to palm that off as one venue with one staff and one operating system and everything, and then have giant levels of purchase power and vertical integration of everything, like genius, right? But he gets to charge pub prices.
Yeah, well, I guess if you look at where he's located in the CBD, he's obviously, yes, he does surge a bit higher than everyone else. With
his costs would be lower than everyone else. That's the messed up thing. He'd be paying way less for meat than I would be, way less for drinks than I would be. Yet he charges twice as much. Genius. How do you flip the switch on that? How do you change people's psychology around this is what a burger should cost at a burger restaurant? Mine's not just a burger restaurant. The rent that I pay in my place wouldn't be dissimilar to what Justin pays in a lot of his venues because I have a train carriage on the roof.
He owns pretty much most of his venues.
Yeah, flip the switch on him having to pay rent in those spaces. I'd be paying similar rates per square meter to what he's paying, right? So why is it perceived any differently? You go to a place that's expertise is making this one product. Like you go to a steak restaurant. Steaks are exceptional, but you've got to pay $100 for a steak. People don't care about that. All they do is they do the same thing that we do with burger patty. Seared, plate, done.
Do you find it's, you know, I guess if you're asking me this question, and, you know, I wish we wasn't having to be doing this because that would just set the scene for the pub vibe. But if you ask me this question, there's a great book on journey and experience and the different touch points the customer goes through. I'll get you the name and I'll inbox it to you. And I read it in my first year of uni when I was studying hospitality management. And what that does, it sets the tone for the customer before they even get into the venue. And it's all about perception, and it's all about it. The difference between Hems and a lot of other venues is that he has rigid, rock-solid divisions in his organisation, and his branding is phenomenal. His brand is what sets the tone for a lot of things, and it gives a perceived value before somebody walks into the venue.
All right, well, just skip Justin. Let's go back to like.
We'll go back. Okay,
Go back to the Cricketers' Arms.
Right. Okay. Let's
So
say
you go to the Cricketers, love the pub, fucking amazing pub.
Yep.
But if you walked in there and paid $30 for a burger and chips, you wouldn't batter an eyelid.
I guess for them, they feel when in a pub scenario, this is my sort of my play on it, is that you compare a pub to another pub. You don't compare a pub to your place.
Correct.
Even though it's a product.
But if you're getting a burger, you should compare it to another burger place.
Unfortunately, they don't.
Exactly. So how do you crack that code?
You're chasing burger enthusiasts. If you made, not saying that, I'm not changing your concept there, but saying if you had set up a concept that was in a pub or in a publican sort of environment, the fit out, the camaraderie around a couple beverages, it like that.
That's what I was hoping to get at Easy's. It didn't happen because I originally set it up. We set it up to be like a clubhouse. So we wanted everyone to come and watch the footy and hang out and sing piss and have a burger as well.
But that didn't.
It never happened because of the reputation that I already had around burgers. So that just went straight into being a burger restaurant. And unfortunately, it's in that space. I'd love to be able to change it. I can't. Without closing it and redoing the whole thing as something different, I don't think I could ever change. It can't be changed.
Because if my first perception is if I'm going to your place, I'm going for burgers.
Yeah,
and that's all I'm going for because you are, in a lot of people's eyes, a authority in the burger space. Like if I'm going to go to your place, I'm going to get one of the greatest burgers I'm ever going to have. And for me, who's someone I find myself educated in hospitality, I personally wouldn't mind paying a premium for that. But the lay people and the general consensus are like, what the fuck, bro? And that just comes down to this is where I revert back. There's a ceiling on burgers, and there's a different ceiling when it comes to pubs.
Yeah, why though?
It's literally because of the venue.
The beer's cheaper, the food's cheaper and better and specialist. They're like, where's the logic in that?
Guys, this is exactly right, and you're hearing it first. Better quality beef, better tasting beers, cleaner glasses. That's for sure.
My pub's glass is pretty clean too.
That's what I'm saying. Your glasses are clean.
But at the pub, at my pub.
Oh, your pub's glasses. Okay. Well, it depends, but in general, I'm saying in general, if I went to a specialist burger restaurant versus a pub,
you just know the burger's going to be better. That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you haven't already, please go check out Easy's. We're going to plan to take the crew there. Hopefully, if we get some time over the next couple of days. So, but Jimmy, it's been amazing to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck judging the burger contest.
They better bring the rockets, I tell you.
That's it.
I'm a hard man to impress, that's for sure.
That's what we can't wait to find.
I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
That's it. And please, if you're ever in Sydney, whenever you come to Sydney, hit us up. Hit up Rita, DM me, whatever it is.
Bit overdue. I haven't been there for a while.
Yeah, come down. We'll take you for a tour. Our office is smack bang in Redfern.
Nice.
And we can take you around.
Next to the Maccas that they're building, yeah?
Is it, yeah? Yeah, where are they building that?
On the corner.
Yeah? Well, there you go. Hates it, huh?
If that ever goes ahead. Did you see the cops are going in on it? We're like, no Maccas.
Really?
Well, because they're worried it's going to be 24 hours. Everyone's going to hang out the front like they do at Elizabeth Street, King's Cross or whatever.
Fair. I never know where it was.
Yeah, crazy.
Well,
nice. Thought.
Well, you never know. Maybe cut the ribbon.
Cut the ribbon at Macca's. Ronald McGidiot over here.
That's it. Good stuff. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Take care, brother.
Thanks, man.